Okay, welcome to the BOCC for August 11th. If you please rise and you pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have the agenda approval.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second. For call for the vote.
There you go.
Yes.
Commissioner Chen.
Yes.
Chairman's approval.
Yes.
Motion passed.
On the consent agenda.
All right, on today's agenda, I have the meeting minutes from July 28th. I have the bid number 26-16, bid number 23190, Christopher Lawler. Bid number 26-17, bid number 33157 for Eric Rose and Timothy James Watkins. The Treasurer's Quarter Report for the second quarter of 2026. Stipend for Joanne Weaver, Richmond County DHS. Bonus for Andrew Sweet, bonus for Tim Trevino, bonus for Paul Jones, all Richmond County Finance. Promotion for Lee Payne and DHS. A extension request for the Strong Communities Grant. Or a amendment request for Strong Communities Grant. And a teacher request for the jail. Energy and Public Affairs. So,
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
First and second, any discussion or questions? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes. On to appointments.
Tony, Meredith, Michael. You guys here?
Can you hear us?
I'm here.
There you
Here.
Hello. We're actually, I don't know if we have the ability to share our presentation.
Yes, who's going to be sharing that?
I would be sharing that, but I can't upload right now, or I don't have that enabled. Oh, thank you.
Yep.
There you go.
I apologize. I'm in Lamar, Colorado, and my internet today has been very, very shaky. So I apologize. I'm here. I'm not going to be able to do the camera and see everyone. I apologize about that today. The internet here in Lamar is very slow.
Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen here.
There it is.
Okay. Oop, did that work for you all?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for giving us time today to come and join you. I'm Meredith Dillon. I'm the Chief of Strategy and Partnerships at Impact Development Fund. We wanted to briefly just give you an overview of who we are as an organization. We are a CDFI, so we're a community development finance institution, and our mission is to create economic opportunity by delivering flexible capital to strengthen underserved communities. We focus on affordable housing, and we are located in Colorado. We've been around for over 25 years, providing consumer and commercial lending for affordable housing. Trying to get this slide to continue to move. There we go. So again, just a brief overview. We lend and we also partner with nonprofits and municipalities. We actually design programs that are unique to each partner. And so we're here today to present a couple of down payment assistance program options, as well as employee homeownership program options to you that are designed for your community. And then we have a suite of programs and services that I won't get into, but we do commercial lending for projects like multifamily projects across the state and the Mountain West, as well as first mortgages, down payment assistance, again, employee homeownership programs. We do income eligibility. If you can lend it in affordable housing, we've done it. So just wanted to share again that we administer several programs on behalf of other municipalities and nonprofit partners for Prop 123 funding and other state funding programs that we administer on behalf of partners. This slide is really just meant to help you see that our third-party loans closed last year. We were over $39 million in third-party loans that were closed, over 420 by our team. So we do this on behalf of a lot of partners, and we've built an amazing team over the last 25 years that has expertise and has the ability to really manage loans, as well as we're very proud of the fact that we have a 0.01% default rate across our loan portfolios. So it's because we still have folks that pick up the phone and call people and know of their borrowers, and we're able to service loans in a very personal way. Wanted to share with you that we work across every county in Colorado. We do have details on each program that we provide in each county at our website at impactdf.org. In Huerfano County, we currently have 2 programs that are available. These, again, change based on funding and availability, but right now we do have our Colorado Roots Down Payment Assistance Program that we offer here directly from Impact Development Fund, as well as a Deerfield Homeownership Fund program. That is also an equity share program. So these are other sources for Huerfano County that any program you choose to administer could be paired with. We also administer 22 employee homeownership programs across the state of Colorado right now. These are some of our partners. So we're very experienced in offering, again, down payment assistance or first mortgages as a way to support employers who want to focus on homeownership for employees as a way of retention and incentivizing employees to work with them. And I'm going to turn this over to Connie.
Hi, everybody. Connie Ely. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer, which is kind of a broad title. I oversee a couple different teams here at IDF, the largest one being our retail mortgage team. So as Meredith said, this is what we do, what our passion is. And I've been with IDF cumulatively about 12 and a half years with a little commercial lending break in the middle of that. So I want to talk to you about what we can offer the county for down payment assistance programs. So we've kind of been speaking with Carl and Michael about looking at helping you to apply for Prop 123 funds with Colorado Division of Housing, as well as perhaps a county funded program for county employees. So doesn't really matter what the funding source is. We have kind of a couple basic repayment options, but they can be tweaked a lot. And we're here to help you do that. We just want to make sure that your programs comply with conventional lending checklists for down payment assistance. And that's what I'm here to help you to do. But we're going to just kind of broadly go over a couple of repayment options, again, knowing that all of this stuff can be tweaked. So my favorite type of repayment is called the equity share. And how that works is there's no monthly payment on it. Instead, you share what we call a pro rata share of the equity when you pay off your down payment assistance loan. So let's say your loan was 10% of the purchase price when you bought the home. When you go to sell the home, refinance the home, or if you did get all the way to maturity, we would look at the current value of the home compared to what you bought it for. You would pay back what you borrowed, and you would share 10% of your equity because in the beginning, you got 10% of the purchase price. So this is a really great repayment structure because it increases the buying power because there's no monthly payment on it. We can also do monthly pay down payment assistance programs. Those are great too, and some people prefer those because then they're is some trepidation about a balloon payment at the end. Let's say if you did get all the way to maturity, you would have to know that you're going to have to pay this balloon payment, where the monthly pays are fully amortized. And when you get to the maturity date, you have it completely paid off. So in that case, you get to keep all your appreciation as well. So how these help buyers is we're expanding access to affordable home ownership. It's very hard in today's world to pay the really high rents and also save for a down payment. And so these down payment assistance programs, and as Meredith mentioned, can be stacked together, and that really moves the needle on affordability for folks. Most middle-class Americans, me included, my largest asset is my home. So when you get into home ownership, it's providing that long-term financial stability and generational wealth, because then oftentimes you can pass that equity on to your heirs. Instead of grants, we always recommend a revolving loan fund for your program. It recycles those funds back through to help additional home buyers. Everyone loves a grant, right? But then you can't continue to help other home buyers and keep your program going. Okay, next slide. Okay, so these, if you guys decide to move forward and put together some programs, we're here to help you through all of the details of it. And there's just really these pieces of information, which I always have an opinion. I'll just say that. These are the things that you would need to make decisions on. What kind of income are you going to serve? So area median income. Prop 123 allows up to 120%. For an employee program, oftentimes there's no income requirement. Loan amount, how many funds do you have? We recommend never going over 20% of the purchase price. 20% is a real sweet spot, but that's pretty generous. That paired with a conventional first mortgage keeps you out of mortgage insurance. So that's really great. Debt to income ratio. We really love the 45% debt to income ratio because that is based on gross income, not net. And so we really don't want to set anybody up for failure by allowing them to get in over their head with their mortgage payment. But there is some flexibility in that. We just talked about that repayment structure. Do you want to do an equity share? Do you want to do a monthly pay? Some of the monthly pays that we work with have some forgiveness features all over the board. Minimum investment, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but we do like to see the borrower have some skin in the game. A lot of our programs are maybe 1% of the purchase price. And if you think about if you are a renter and you move, you're going to have a security deposit and first month's rent. And oftentimes that's a similar amount of money. Interest rate, if you want to do a monthly pay, again, this depends on where your funds are coming from. Obviously, you want to keep it below market for the interest rate to make these programs attractive and also to work so that folks can qualify. Loan term, equity share has to be it has to match the first mortgage, which is almost always 30 years for first-time home buyers. And then monthly pay, you can do a 15-year, you could even, do a 20-year. Some of that is customizable, but again, we want to make sure it works with a conventional loan product. We do always look at assets. We really want to save these down payment assistance funds for people who actually need them. Somebody who has a lot of what we call liquid assets, so assets that aren't in retirement accounts, they maybe don't need the down payment assistance loan, and there's plenty of people that do. So we definitely look at that. A lot of our programs have a combined loan to value. So the first mortgage and the second mortgage at 100% of the purchase price. less maybe what you're requiring for that minimum investment, but a lot of times that can actually go towards the closing costs. But some of our programs allow all the way up to 105% of the purchase price, just to help folks with those closing costs, because that does add up. We, on the equity share, we don't really get into looking at improvements that people have made to the property, capital improvements, we call that. That just gets super messy. And so we really keep those equity share calculations just based on the difference between the current value of the home and what you purchased it for. And then we always recommend a first-time home buyer class. Now, if you're doing a employee program and someone already owns a home and, you know, they're doing a move up situation or maybe a move down situation to a smaller home, you wouldn't have to have a home buyer class, but they're really, really great information and really educate people more so than what our staff can do or what the first mortgage lender can do. So these are what we can offer to our partners. We help them create a program, like I said, that works for your demographic, works for your funding source. And then we really take the loans from start to finish. So once the program is up and running, we have a full staff of licensed mortgage loan originators here that work on a application all the way from initial contact all the way through funding. So any applicants just have one person that they work with. Of course, we have a little double coverage during summertime vacations and holidays, but the folks on our retail mortgage team are really, really patient and kind. We, as Meredith said, answer phone calls, return phone calls and emails. We really try to give that white glove service to the borrowers as well as our partners, which would be you, because while there's not a lot for your staff to do, we do always want you to know that we have an application that we've looked at. We're recommending approval, and we actually send a document to you that you sign off on, acknowledging, yes, we're approving this loan and this is the closing date. It's a one-page document. You don't have to be a mortgage expert to read it or understand it. And of course, our staff is always here if you have any questions. Then we close the loan. We provide the funding at the closing table at the title company, and then we invoice the county to be reimbursed for the loan capital. Once the loan closes, we service it through the entire life of the loan. And then loan modification and workouts, as Meredith just discussed. The reason our default rate is so low is because we're really good at working with people. Lots of people make their payments on time and never have a problem, but there are circumstances, death in the family, illness, car accidents, job loss, all sorts of things where it's absolutely in everyone's best interest, the borrower, you as the lender partner, IDF, to really work with those folks, give them a loan modification if needed to make it a workable, affordable product for them, even if it's for a temporary amount of time. We don't do what the first mortgage lenders do, which they'll throw people in modifications or forbearance, and then they have this huge balloon payment in 6 or 12 months, and then they're at risk of losing their home all over again. So we do a lot of one-on-one work with the borrowers to make sure that they don't go into default. And then lots of reporting. You would get monthly lender statements. We do quarterly production reports, and we can track any number of things. We try not to go too crazy with the tracking, but we have a pretty robust tracking already. But if you wanted us to capture a particular metric about the loan, we're happy to do that. So These are what we have put together probably in your packet about how the actual program implementation works, our loan origination. So we charge a one-time. Meredith, do you want to do this part? I feel like I'm stealing your thunder here.
Oh, sure. And it looks like we might have had this is the wrong amount for the program. Generally, we have a program implementation fee that covers all of the work that it takes, again, to create guidelines with you, to be able to set your program up, to make sure you're set up in all of our systems. For any first time program, it is $7,500. And any second program would be $5,000. So I apologize that this one might have the wrong one on there. We know that you're looking at the down payment assistance program first. So just know that if you have additional programs, there's a reduced rate for each program because we already have some of the pieces set up in the system. But we help to, again, with letters of support for your Prop 123 applications. We, again, work with you and any of the important voices that you need to hear to get feedback on guidelines and make changes. And again, you saw the customized options you have and to make sure that those work for your community. And that's part of your program implementation fee that comes up front. And then all of the other fees associated are really around those per loan costs. So when we're thinking about loan origination, it's $400 or $450 for the second mortgage to be established, whether that's if it's a monthly pay. And then if it's a deferred second mortgage, which is the equity share product we talked about, that's $400. Loan modifications are actually paid by the borrower and we charge $300 for those. And then again, if we need to do a subordination, there is a charge to the borrower. Annual servicing fees, again, we try to keep these really reasonable, especially for our municipal partners. So it's based on the number of loans that we are servicing in your portfolio. So again, when we're thinking about if you have a program and let's say you're applying for Prop 123 and you're going to apply for amount of 5 loans, you'd be paying $1,000 a year. That's divided and invoiced monthly across 12 months. And then it goes up based on the number of loans in your portfolio. Maybe I'll pause here because we've covered a lot of information. And before I go on to any costs associated with the employer homeownership program, which again, similar scope of work, but if we have any questions that we could answer right now about any of the program services or fees, that might be a good time to pause. And I can't see you all because the presentation is up, so you'll just have to let me know you have a question.
Okay, wow. Yes, we do have a couple questions. I appreciate that. One thing, did you say about, is there a variable interest rate or is it fixed on that?
So again, our program partners design the program. So if you have a monthly pay program, so again, if you're thinking about doing, let's say, up to $50,000 down payment assistance, and you'd like that the program to be set up so that that person is paying, let's say, monthly that amount back over a 15-year period, you can actually set that interest rate, and that's solely up to you, and it would stay fixed. In our own Colorado Roots program, which was our down payment assistance program that was funded by Proposition 123, we have a 1% rate for borrowers who have lower AMIs, and we have a 2% fixed rate for borrowers at higher levels of AMI. So you can adjust it based on, again, just where that family's household income is, or you could have 1% across the entire program. That's solely up to you. And again, we can support you in helping make those decisions, but you get to design the program to be whatever is in your best interest.
I have a question about your question. When you said variable, are you talking about an actual variable interest rate that changes during the term of the loan?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we really shy away from those. We don't administer any of those. We are working with usually a demographic that really needs to know exactly what their payments are going to look like. So we pretty much stay firm on it needs to be a fixed rate for the term of the loan.
Good deal. I agree.
No, I don't think that.
Oh, okay. There you go. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Yeah, I don't think it's really. But I didn't do all that right now. We were- Okay, actually, that's a couple of them. See where they're at. Actually, we do have a couple of questions from
Great.
A couple of cases that came up on one of the slides earlier, I did notice that you have a lot of them with, oh, sorry, Ryan Geese, Gies, county resident. One of the slides was your town of Aspen, town of Lyons, like you have a lot of mountain town administration from back in the beginning there.
This is with our employee homeownership program, yes. But we do work in down payment assistance across every county in the state.
Yeah, I worked a lot in the mountains before moving down here, and I see a lot of parallels to the employee retention in those towns. A lot of low-paying jobs and a lot of real expensive homes. I see that as a benefit to county employees here, and that was one of my questions for the commissioners and for Carl. Is this a program that you're already working with, that we're expanding, or is this a proposition from them to begin working with the county? Is this something you're already involved with?
This will be a new program. These are new programs.
Brand new program. Thank you. I really see the benefit of a lot of that, and from a home buyer, for somebody to say, we're not a bank, here's a loan, and you're talking about 1 to 2%, but that's far below market rate. You mentioned competitive rates. You're not saying you loan at 2%. Is that what I heard?
So this is just a second mortgage product. So whatever their interest rate would be on their first mortgage product, again, would be up to the traditional lender. So we work with that, whoever they're getting their first mortgage from, to actually have this second mortgage product. So it would be a fixed rate. Again, we often offer 1 or 2% because if you have a higher debt in this product, that actually limits their buying power when it comes to be able to purchase a home, because they can only take on so much debt. And especially if we're talking about, again, the average median income in your county, and thinking about whether that's 100% or 120% of the area median income that you want to be able to support in this program. If you have a second mortgage product, down payment assistance product that they're paying monthly, and you have fees that are significantly higher, that's going to negatively impact the amount of a home that they can purchase with their first mortgage, because they consider that debt into the equation when they are qualifying for that home. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. The second mortgage is clear, so that's the part I missed.
Okay, you talk to me after.
That clears up with that one. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Sure.
I just want to expound a little bit on what Meredith's response was. So when we're talking this Prop 123, these are grant funds from the Division of Housing to, in our case, IDF, in your case, to the county. And so you can do those really low interest rates because your cost of funds is zero, right? This is a grant. So when you receive repayments on these Division of Housing dollars, that's considered program income, and it's a revolving loan fund. It goes back into the fund to be relent. Now, if the county is using for an employee program, if they're using, county general funds, whatever the funds are, yes, it might be a higher interest rate because their cost of funds might be higher. So that's why we love the equity share. But we have programs all over the place. A number of our employer programs, which we call them EHOP, Employee Home Ownership Program is a little trade name. Some of them have rates that are tied to an index. They are locked in for the life of the loan, but they might be prime +1, prime -1. They're all over the place, and there's a lot of different indexes that some of our employers choose to use. And again, as your guests there mentioned, up in the mountain communities, some of these down payment assistance programs are huge. Our largest one, which is Eagle River Water and Sanitation, they will loan up to $245,000 on a down payment assistance loan. So it's all over the place as far as loan amounts and also those interest rates. And again, it depends on, are they grant funds, or is it general capital? Just what the cost to the organization is.
Can I interject one quick thing too? I think that's missing from the understanding of the program is that there is a step in here in actually applying for down payment assistance. And then the application is in September, is that correct? And maybe could you walk through just kind of like, I think we're missing that important step that the county is actually going to be applying to the Division of Housing for this program. And then,
Sure.
And then what you're doing is creating the structure for the program once an award is given. But if you could elaborate on that a little bit, because I think we're skipping, this is great, but we also still have the step of applying for funds.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's
happy to expand on that, and apologies of kind of not covering that earlier. But again, DOLA does have a round of funding that's opening up. The letters of intent are due by September 30th of this year, and the letter of intent really would be a letter that's coming from the county that says we have an intention of applying for down payment assistance funding. We are estimating that our application will be for the amount of X. And again, we would help you to kind of create your program guidelines and your maximum limits so that you know, hey, we're going to try to apply for 8 loans in this first round. And if they're each going to be, $50,000, then we know we're going to apply for a certain amount of funding and then we'd also get administrative costs that DOLA will allow, and you'd include that into your letter to just say, we have an intention of applying. When that application cycle then opens, they will send you an application. They'll send you a portal link to apply. You would upload things like your program guidelines, who it's going to serve. Again, some of the details that we listed earlier that you have options around the AMI, thinking about your repayment structure and some of the maximum loan amounts. So you would apply for the program that you've designed. Again, we support you in that design. Generally, and again, there's not a solid kind of date for the award, but generally you would hear back sometime in the late fall or early winter about whether or not you were going to receive that funding. And then you'd go through a contractual agreement period with DOLA. So that's generally a 1 to 2 month period to work out how you agree to receive the funds, what the reporting agreements are for those. And again, we'd support that reporting on your behalf, but we administer many of these programs for, again, the Proposition 123 funding through the Division of Housing. And so we would support you through that entire process if that's something that you're interested in applying for. So in the case of the down payment assistance, again, the conversations that we previously had with Michael and Carl have been around applying for DOLA funding that would actually be the source of income for this program.
I just want to step in here really quick. I pulled up my cheat sheet of when the due dates are. So there's usually 2 rounds of down payment assistance funding per year. That's just what it's been the last few years for Proposition 123. So the letter of intent is due August 31st.
Oh, sorry about that, Connie. Thank you.
Okay. And then the application is due October 15th. And again, Meredith said that you would be provided a link to open up a Neighborly is their portal, and you apply through that and upload all your documents into there. For this round of funding, there's a total of $5 million available.
So I would just add to this, this conversation came about with Carl and I discussing how to kind of lift up the county revolving loan fund, and this being kind of our first product that we would be able to start administering. So again, just the timeliness of the application. Of course, there's always another round that we could apply for, but typically, what I recommend for my clients, actually, I'm going to be speaking with Prowers County here in about 24 minutes. We are doing a similar where we're building houses and we match the down payment assistance program to our actual construction project. So any buyers that are buying homes from the scattered site development award that we got out here in the Eastern Plains, they are also being paired actually with Connie's team to actually be able to use the down payment assistance with the purchase of that new home. So that's kind of, as you start to think about the first year of the rollout, you don't have to pair it to a project. You can make it available to anybody who income qualifies. But typically, just kind of thinking in those numbers of, the 5 to 10 range is what the Division of Housing in a community like Huerfano County would be looking at as a reasonable application ask.
Any other questions on that process or on the DPA program specifically?
Not for me. The process.
This follow-up question, I guess, would be for Carl. Is this a pool of money that you're gonna pick $100,000, or do we put a point of we're looking for 5 down payment assistance? It's an administration county
We'll
choice,
work
yeah?
through that with IDF, we put together the application.
So that when you go through that application to the state or the goal of funds, you put a lump sum number, and if we then.
Seen the form yet?
Okay.
But
Curious question. I have a million questions. Thank you.
Yeah, so you get to decide how many loans that you think you might need. Again, what you want the maximum amount to be. And then there's a flat percentage fee that will populate in the project budget in the application from DOLA. So, and again, you'd put that in your letter of intent. Apologies again, I'm getting that date wrong, August 30th, but we can help again, like show you our model of sort of how we do that if that's of interest. And again, just here totally to support whatever might be the right timing for you and the right amount. But as was mentioned, I think, 6 to 10 loans for your county, you have a 3-year period to which you can use this. So should you go through it in the first 2 years, you'd actually be eligible to apply for more at any point and in any future round. You don't even have to be finished using the first round before you'd apply for a second. You just want to show that the program was working and that there was interest. So you have many years to use the funding. And so that 6 to 10 number is pretty safe recommendation from us on a number of loans that you might think about. And then you'd match that loan amount of what you're considering to that letter.
One other thing for the commissioners to consider around timeliness and why this is being brought forward. Carl, please correct me if I misstate this, but we did get clearance that the Strong Communities grant that we currently have funding left available would help cover. It works for the down payment assistance to cover the $7,500 to develop the guidelines. And honestly, that's the heavy lift in the application to show Division of Housing by October 15th is the creation of the guidelines and setting the interest rates and everything else that goes along with that conversation. But if we are able to establish those guidelines prior to the expiration of the Strong Communities grant, and Carl, again, correct me if I'm misstating this, but that would be covered under that grant. So that $7,500 would be covered by an additional dollar grant.
that's correct.
Yeah, and again, I think one other thing to note is that if you were to apply this October, you wouldn't expect to see those funds until early next year. There's no certain timing for when that next round would open up. So this is why we suggested because of the interest that you have right now that this is a time to apply, because it does take several months to get through this process. And there's never a guarantee at the state as well. They intend to open other rounds, but when the opportunity is here, we recommend it. So, well, I only have, I think, one other slide here that is around the employee homeownership fees. You also have this in your packet. It's a very similar setup to the down payment assistance program. Again, we try to keep things really simple here, so I won't go through that for you. But if you have additional questions about any of the other things we covered, I want to make sure that we have time to answer those. And I'll stop sharing so that we can actually see you as well.
And I'm going to apologize because I'm going to have to drop off because I do have another county commissioner meeting to make. And I appreciate, and I promise to make it to the chambers here soon and introduce myself formally. But just because of the timeliness of trying to get this moving, we kind of pushed this forward. But one other quick thing on the employee, Carl and I were discussing, and Carl, maybe you can add into this, that's probably something that you'll consider for that because it's not going to be covered by Strong Communities in next year's budget if you were going to pursue that. So I think the timeliness for kind of trying to get this going and getting this stood up is first starting with down payment assistance, that program that is also covered by the Strong Communities, getting that established, going through that guideline process. And then Carl, I think there's a desire to not just talk about Huerfano County, but also potentially some other employers in the region that might team up with the county to be part of that program. So we cast a wider net of some of the major employers in Huerfano to assist with that. And that's certainly something that their team will assist with the conversations, for instance, potentially with the hospital or a school district that might also participate in that employee program as well. And again, all of those folks are eligible under the down payment assistance as long as they can qualify. And I apologize again for having to jump, and I'd be happy to answer any other quick questions. And I look forward to getting to town and talking to you about other projects that we have in the hopper.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Michael.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
On the list,
We're going to go ahead and hop off. So nice to virtually meet all of you. If you have any follow-up questions, just let Carl know. And I know if you're anything like me, you're thinking about it later and questions pop up. But thank you so much for your time today.
definitely.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
I guess again, good morning, commissioners.
Good.
Good morning.
I want to start off first with a bulk water permit for Anthony and Etta De Herrera. Permit number 26-000202. Property is located at 2912 County Road 623 in Gardner. Parcel numbers 42392. They are requesting water so they can obtain a water supply to their residents due to no natural water source or well. On inspection, there are no code violations. The property has 1 residence and 3 outbuildings. And staff recommends that bulk water permit be issued as long as there's she has an active camping permit on there. Because they're going to camp while they get the residents fixed up.
This is for, so they don't have a house on the property, they do have a house on the property.
They do have a house on the property. And no water source. Because there's an address, so there's a residence.
So we don't need the camping permit.
Pardon me?
We don't need the camping permit.
I don't think we need the camping permit. I think that might have been a typo.
I'll make a motion to approve bulk water permit number 26-000202. Anthony and Etta De Herrera.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chatham,
Yes.
Commissioner Leo,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Yes.
Motion passes. Hey Sherry, when you put numbers in here, we need to use the conducting system.
Okay.
Because our wording gets it, the rates are wrong, things like that.
Yeah, the next one is what came out of the system. Okay, this is permit number, bulk water for James Taylor. Permit number bulk 26-000203. Property is located at 20622 Highway 69 in Gardner. They are requesting water as their house is connected to a 300-gallon cistern, and it's their only source of water on the property. On inspection, there are no code violations. The property has 1 residence and 2 outbuildings.
Okay, so there is a residence on the,
Yes, and this back down here about the active camping permit was a typo.
okay.
It didn't
I was
get
just saying,
taken out of any of them, so yeah, I apologize for that.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve bulk water number 26-000203 for James Taylor.
Second.
First and second, any discussion or? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Royal,
Yes.
Commissioner Chin.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, on to the next bulk water permit. Again, forget about the active camping permit. This letter is concerning Naomi Schwer, permit number bulk 26-000215. Property is located at 1180 County Road 620.1 in Gardner. They are requesting water as they do not have a well and need to be able to haul water to their home. Upon inspection, there are no code violations. The property has 1 residence that had a current building permit. These people had bought the house, they purchased the house, and they're finishing it out. So there is a current building permit up to date on that one.
I'll make a motion to approve bulk water permit number 26-000215 for Manny Short.
Second.
And second, any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Chin,
Yes.
Commissioner Royal.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes.
Okay, commissioners, next for you, I have a license renewal for, it's going to be changed to marijuana license 26-050 and 7. And also a modification of premises. So what they are is they're a retail marijuana cultivation facility. They are zoned agricultural. The site is at 600 Greenhorn Mountain Drive in Rye. Below you'll see the ordinance references. So I'll go on with the background. On July 20th, 2026, a Huerfano County marijuana license renewal application and application fees were received by the county. Colorado MED license and surety bond renewal also received on July 20th, 2026. The application was determined to be complete on June 18th. TKJ Investments received his tier 2 plants. It should have been said July 20th. It was complete. Okay. TKJ Investments received his tier 2 3600 plants, regulated marijuana conditional use license, 403 or conditional license 403R-00859 on December 14th, 2024, and to expire on December 14th, 2026. Okay. On August 5th, 2026, an inspection was conducted of the property and was found to be in compliance, except for only having 30 days of backup recordings instead of the required 40 days of backup. Because on June 5th, they switched out 2 cameras, and those cameras are now using up all the storage. MED has been notified of this situation, and they have installers coming out to repair the storage issue sometime the week of August 10th. This applicant has been in complete compliance since last year with both paperwork and excise taxes. He has kept his licenses and conditional use permit with both state of Colorado and Huerfano County current. The applicant has put in for his modification of premises with both the state of Colorado and with Huerfano County to add a post-production room on top of the vault inside the marijuana facility, a 20-foot by 60-foot pole barn also for post-production as well as a dining room. Adding 5 new hoop houses and an additional 8-foot security fence and 12 additional cameras for complete coverage. The applicant has had his license and conditional use permits with both the state of Colorado and MED. Huerfano County is in good standing this last year. He has been expanding, been producing and selling crop, and currently has 2,079 plants. Staff recommends approval of the license renewal as well as the modification of premises. Any questions?
Okay, so that would be 25-00000007. 00. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve license application 25-000007 for TKJ Investments marijuana license renewal and modification purposes.
Second. Any other discussion? All to vote.
Commissioner Rio?
Yes.
Commissioner Chin?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion.
And that is all from me, commissioners.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right, on to action items.
All right, first up, we do the down payment assistance program proposals that we met about earlier. So just a reminder, you have 2 proposals in front of you. One is for a Prop 123 down payment assistance program in the amount of $7,500. The other is for an employee housing homeownership program, and that will be $5,000. So you have a couple options here. If you so choose to approve, you could approve one, you could approve both. I think with the employee homeownership program, that's absolutely, it'd be completely self-funded by the county. So if we were to pursue that now, we can start now, but we wouldn't pursue it until we have, I think, the cash available to run the program.
Yeah.
Either way, too.
I like the idea of both. I'll make a motion to approve the down payment assistance program proposals. 7,500 for the top PPA and also the 5,000 for employee housing.
Second.
One second, any other discussion or questions? How to vote?
Commissioner Chin?
Yes.
Commissioner Rio?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, next up, you amendment to the ownership agreement, amendment 1 to the county and KLJ. This is for the Heat Gravel Boundary Project. It modifies the services, the payment into the time to get that project done.
I will. As soon as I get back to it. I will make a motion to approve the KLJ contract amendment for peak gravel amendment number 1.
Second. Any discussion?
Commissioner Rio?
Yes.
Commissioner Chin?
Yes.
Motion passes. Then I have amendment number 5 to agreement on the Huerfano River Bridge Rehabilitation Project. This is a modification of the services that are here and a modification of the payment. To get the Huerfano River Bridge project complete.
Make a motion to approve the KLJ contract amendments for the Huerfano River Bridge number 5. Pushing the thumbs up.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Oh,
Commissioner Chin?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. Next, I have your intergovernmental agreement between the Huerfano County Clerk of the Quarter and the City of Waldenburg regarding the November 2026 election.
Good morning, Commissioners. As Carl said, this is an intergovernmental agreement concerning services provided by the Elections Department. to the city of Walsenburg to put, at this time, one question on the ballot. So far, everything's been going smoothly. We have great communication with their DPO. And we're looking forward to it.
Excellent.
I'll make a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement concerning 2026 November general election between the city of Walsenburg and Huerfano County.
Second.
Second, any other discussion or questions? All in favor?
Commissioner Wada?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Commissioner Cool?
Yes.
Motion passes. And then I'll have the your first audit this 2026 winter run for human services, and the total amount available $21,758.18.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the August 2026 DHS funding round in the amount of $1,758.80.
Second.
First, second, any discussion? All in favor?
Commissioner Trimble?
Yes.
Commissioner Wada?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion. And then next, I can the minimum for the remainder of the county, being the total of $204,971.05.
I'll make a motion to approve the winter run for the rest of the county in the amount of $204,971.05.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? And let's see. Call for the vote.
Commissioner Wada?
Yes.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Commissioner Cool?
Yes.
Motion passed. I have for you a request to ratify the signed agreement to renovate the county jail. Couple of renovations include security enhancements, structural repairs, kitchen upgrades, and purchasing of fire alarm. The scope previously included a new cooling system, which has been removed after another component of the HVAC failed in the past month. We expect to present a change order to add a revised cooling scope in the next month, once those designs are complete. We have discussed these improvements with CTSI, the county's general liability insurance company, and they are comfortable moving forward with these renovations, which should resolve liability concerns once the work is completed. Until then, the jail only has inmates on a temporary basis.
Make a motion to approve the agreement with McKinney Street for law enforcement center upgrade in the full amount of $174,770 and ratify it with county administrator's signature on the
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Yes, sir.
To the administration of the commissioners, 1.7 stating, oh, right, Geese County resident, many times over. 1.7 minimum improvement to a building that should be condemned. I understand that building another jail is very difficult. My question is just curious to most of the residents of the county is what is really being done to move it into the future rather than Band-Aid that building. 1.8 doesn't seem like enough to cover it, but it's also a very expensive, substantial Band-Aid. Just think that that needs to be said out loud. Or you have given away $1.8 million to a car contractor.
You're right, it is a $1.7 million. Probably more.
Yeah, probably more, definitely more. And knowing a contractor, more.
So we're statutory obligated to have a jail. The logistics of trying to work with other counties, we can do it on a temporary basis, but long term it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
We're already having conversations about designing a new jail. It's being a conversation with the builder, paying for them, so on and so forth. But ultimately the full building is free.
Yeah, absolutely. Been inside the bowels of it, and
And we
it
explored other
speaks
options.
more to the maintenance of the county of the building up to this point. It was not maintained, and moving forward, it's up to have to buy a new car because you didn't put gas or oil in the last one. That's just a word of caution. So thank you.
We explored other options like temporary facilities. We explored having more permanent stuff with other counties. The price was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And we could finish this quicker than we could have. But
It is. And liability wise, we do something now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Like I said, it's, I have my own reservations with their personal. So, and it's not your gentleman's fault. I know it's not Carl's fault. It needs to be forward, but without comment by the public, with that needs to be said.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Sure. You have the, will you state your name for the record?
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Justin Gary. And I was wondering what were they voting on? Usually they have some paperwork about what's being discussed for the public to read over. So we could have a comment about the.
Yeah, there's the agenda and then
I have it here, but you might see what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, the one we read it. Okay. So could you just briefly tell me what the money was for the 1.7 million?
yeah.
So it's for renovating the county jail, including security enhancements, structural repairs, kitchen upgrades, and replacement of the fire alarm.
It does sound like a lot of money just for that. And the building, maybe you can go for that.
So
That's all.
a new building would be more like $20 million. So that's, because we've looked into many different things and we don't have a choice.
That's good.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
one more clarification, the other thing with improving the existing facility, we have grants that help us pay for this. All the other options didn't have that.
This has some grant money.
Yes. Okay, you would have. Open.
Commissioner Chenwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes,
Commissioner Brady.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, next I have for you a memorandum on the, decision number 2026-04, Creekwood Home Plan Sets, released this RP on July 20th. Seeking proposals from qualified architecture firms and architects/engineer teams for design for reusable, detachable, single-family home prototype plan sets. County intends to establish a library of plans that can be reviewed for pre-approval by the Macomb County Lands and Building Department and made available for PDPs within the county. Committee sits in agreement with county staff, review proposals and recommend collab architecture for awards.
And these plans are the ones that be available at the land use office for people to pick up.
Yeah,
Once
available
it-
online.
And,
It's a one, build their house with this plan, so you don't like to call them up and get the engineer, the foundation design. The need for building permit fee drops from full cost to additional cost for foundation.
Streamline it. Wonderful.
Plan review fee, I should say.
If you. Sorry. More line to area, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry again, Ryan Geese. Is this like a target goal for the Rio Charis, or is it just a general way to streamline the building department?
This is the general.
So I'll make a motion to approve the award for the pre-approved home plan set, RFP number 2026-04 to Collab Architecture and authorize the chairman of the board of the county commissioners to sign the agreement.
second,
Okay, any other discussion and question? Also, vote.
Commissioner Rook,
yes,
Commissioner Chenoweth,
Yes.
Attorney Ford,
Yes,
motion passed.
okay. On correspondence,
First I have your July 2026 fuel report. This is, for the gas and diesel. I have your leave report, as of July 25th. I have your monthly water volume report, which you put out. the GPID building register, the GPID internal report, and technical updates to the PSI on independent contractor compliance, the technical update on boiler and pressure vessel inspections, a notice of construction for the internal protection project. The dates on this has shifted. Phase 2 is now scheduled to begin on August 24th. And then last, I had your airport fuel selling point.
Very good. On to public comment. Each person will have up to 3 minutes to present their public comment. Please address the board to the chair. You'll have opportunity to speak your opinions and views to the board. We generally do not engage in a back and forth. You'll have 3 minutes for each person. First up, Mr. Pacheco.
That's Ronald James Pacheco. And in my hand right here today is an 1884 document infrastructure of the water you see today here in the county. My family who made it, my family that belongs to, as well as the land. Here we have a document number 3-318 and a number 3-319, which the actual railroad took the section from my family land patent, the number 1 water right, and distributed it to himself, who's being the railroad owner himself, and that's Mr. Jackson Williams S. So just let you know, the land and the property water will be coming back to the Pacheco estate as I got the patent, like I told you before, and the patent to the land. Never been your guys's, never will. The Pacheco name will be changed and having this town made to its new name as Pachecoville. So whether you guys like it or not, it doesn't matter, because what I have is a lot more than what you guys will ever have. And that's the foundation of the ground and the water that it has today. And I thank you for your time and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, Justin.
Yes. Good morning again. Commissioners, public, staff.
Can you say your name again for the record?
Justin Geary.
Okay.
And I've entered into a contract with a buyer to sell some property along the Cuchara River up in it's a Panadero 4A parcel 3. It sits along the river. It's 0.81 acres, and there's a restrictive covenants put on it that was states that the county commissioners or the Pandalero partners, I believe, the ski club that was running it, it's the pub now, would have to sign off on this restriction to lift it or to be able to build on the site. And after speaking with the Cuchara Water and Sanitation Department, they said that they didn't have a problem with lifting this restriction, but it is on the deed that commissioners must repeal the condition. And so I was wondering if there was any objection from the commissioners about lifting this restriction on building, but wanting to hopefully build more homes in the area to increase the economy in general. So, and they just really don't need the lot. They've already signed off papers saying that they would allow a private well and a private septic to be built on the property, and they had no records of any restrictions themselves on the building of the property. It was intent at one time to have some sewage treatment area or possibly for the neighborhood there, but they just don't really need it, sounds like. And, I guess if I could maybe make a motion that you would, direct the administrator to maybe confer with the attorney about lifting the thing, writing up the paper stating that it could be lifted. We're supposed to close yesterday on the property, but this is holding up the sale. And we have an extension, but we're wanting to just get that clarified from you guys since the handler partner is defunct now. It seems like you're the only other people standing in path of this restrictions. If I can make that motion.
But we'd have to definitely confirm with the attorney what the steps are to do that. But we'll expedite.
I do want to have a call meeting.
Yeah, really. No problem. Just have to make sure it's done in the way that we.
Okay, so for the record, none of the commissioners have any issue with the building. Okay. No, they all said no. Thank you.
And then well, I can't read your first name. Okay.
I'm Terry Bachman.
And we're with Bank of San Juan in Colorado City.
So thank you, commissioners, for a few moments. We are just with the Bank of San Juan's, a division of Glacier Bank Corp. It's a $32 billion bank out of Montana. We are a local community. We have 18 divisions in 9 states across our different divisions. And we just wanted to take opportunity to introduce ourselves and see if there's opportunity maybe for some banking relationship. I know that many times there are requests for proposals that are sent out, and we just wanted to make sure if in fact a request for proposal was sent out from the city, that we could be on that agenda and have opportunity for that business. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have some information
make sure
to
you
leave.
leave some
Can we leave it here? Okay. Here?
My address begins to the treasurer's office.
Okay, we can do that for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else online? Seeing none, we'll go on to staff reports.
All right, commissioners. And part of my report is, of course, our open positions. You might notice that there is now a deputy officer position posted. But the sheriff's office is almost at capacity. We have one more that's going to go through the academy early next year. Putting at their capacity, so that's why they're not posting it anymore. Finance officer training closes today. BSO closes on the 17th. The BSO will also do commodities and various food programs in the county. And then operator road and bridge, we're able to hire one person, 2 openings. So that will be the second position. Second opening is going to close on August 24th. I'm hoping to post today the RFP for mission bid for the area sewer project. Let's get that in GMS. I decided to bring them off here just because it's next week for the last 3 weeks. See it's not cost. Other than that, I have my activities for the last couple of weeks.
Anything from the county attorney?
The county attorney has been busy working on much of that, but I don't have to. Problems and the legal session is separate.
All right. No need for executive session. And we do have upcoming meetings, public workshop for public works workshop, land use building workshop, and IT workshop, and administrative workshop, full out workshop. No, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
It's. Great. Dean, first and second, call for the vote.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Royal?
Yes.
Commissioner Blair?
Yes.
Motion passed.
We're now adjourned, 11:14.